You know, there is an old saying in Hollywood, if you want a friend, get a dog. And if there is one person who seems to have taken that advice quite literally aside from the rescue beagles, it's the woman we often refer to as Meghan Markle. If you have been watching the trajectory of the Sussex squad for any length of time, you'll notice a pattern. It's a pattern that is actually quite common in the upper echelons of the entertainment industry. But rarely do we see it executed with such, let's call it, precision. The problem with friends in this specific social stratosphere is that they are disposable. We have seen it time and time again, haven't we? People are useful, right up until the second they aren't. It's a transactional economy. It reminds me a bit of the latest news surrounding the couple borrowing a brownstone mansion, utilizing private jets that don't belong to them. It paints a picture of what I like to call grifters of the highest order. They are living their absolute best lives, flashing the smiles and the designer labels, but very rarely is it on their own dime. But here is where it gets interesting. It's not just about money. It's about social currency. Climbing up along the way, Meghan will attach herself to whatever she feels is necessary at that specific moment. And once, of course, your usefulness has been well rinsed well, suddenly you find that actually you're not so loved, you're not so wanted, and you are certainly not showing up and doing good. Meghan Markle has just delivered a massive blow to a person who, some might say, gave her a very big opportunity when she needed it. But behind the scenes, the story is much darker. Meghan was reportedly furious, although the host didn't know it at the time. As ever, let me explain. Hi, nice to see you. Welcome back everybody, and a massive welcome to one and all brand new subscribers. It's a strange thing, as I know I often say this. Hollywood is a very strange sort of animal when you're there and when you work there. I never took it seriously, as you can imagine, because they're all fickle. They all about themselves, and ultimately it says about where do they feel they fitting in. What is their demographic? What is their money-making potential? Now, when you really think about it, Meghan Markle's not even a D-list initially. You're just not there on the Richter scale, just coasting along until she met a very rich, and of course, some say at the time, powerful husband. She married rich, end of story. That was the break, right? Suddenly, she's now got herself onto things where she could only have dreamt of. And whether you like it or not, she has those stories attached to the late monarch, Queen Elizabeth. She was the very first person to be invited on the royal train, a huge honor. Looking back, there were huge mistakes and missteps, many might suggest, from the British monarchy to try and appease somebody who they were a little bit timid of. They were worried about the climate. They were worried about the optics. Oh, you know, I'm not very welcome because I'm a brown person. You get the picture. She did it anyway. So, the palace might as well have not been that friendly, because where has it got them? Nowhere. Where this is interesting is if you cast your mind back to when Meghan Markle appeared on that show. That's right, the Ellen DeGeneres show. Right now, it's a strange name, generous, right? Because then what we found out, of course, was that Meghan and, of course, Ellen herself were anything less than generous. Ellen was sort of outed as being a bully, difficult to work with, a total diva. Now, what I would say is, having worked on those shows, and taken guests on those shows, they're all the same. It's all fakery behind the scenes. Here's a book. Let's dance in the crowd. Look how happy we are. But really, you know, keep your distance. I don't want you getting scurvy on my outfit. You know what I'm saying. Keep away. It's just ... there you are. This is the job. I'm pretending to like you. But you know, of course, Ellen thought it was real, because she was very vocal about this, had actually seen the children that nobody est seen. It must be a rarity, right? Well, She thought, for some explicable reason, that she was genuine friends with Meghan Markle. But the moment Ellen's show by Warner Brothers was cancelled, that was it. You're dead, right? Because you are no use to me anymore. You know, I don't need you. Why would I want to associate myself with a cancelled celebrity when I am trying to build a global empire of kindness? Here is where this gets really interesting, right? Because, as you know, Meghan recently put together her Meghan Christmas show, her cooking show for the very final outing for Netflix. And when you look at the cast list, it's not exactly stellar, you know. Now, what are the things that you need if you're Ellen DeGeneres? Remember, she tried to climb back with her own Netflix special recently. Nobody was interested. It came and went without a whisper. So she now needs to get back in through another door. She thought this cooking show would have been the perfect opportunity to align herself, if you like, with somebody who's just as controversial as she is. But more importantly, there's a chance there to get back in, to get back on screen, maybe show a warm, funny, fuzzy side, maybe a little comedy in the kitchen. Pass the salt, Duchess. According to an excellent source, well, the offer was there from Ellen's side. She reached out, and a complete just no response. I mean, you know, this is show business, right? Zero response. Left high and dry. Nobody was bothered. Now, here's the background, and this is the real reason why. Ellen DeGeneres, you see, is bored. She now wants to go back to America. She's realized that she could live with Donald Trump, the President of the United States. President Trump. And so suddenly, you know, she wants to get back into the world of show business. She feels that she's done the Cotswolds adventure here in the UK. She's not exactly flavor of the month down there. They don't mix. The locals are very unfriendly to Hollywood types. But I've told you about that already, and the bottom line is now, she saw Meghan Markle paying her a favor. But she miscalculated. Remember, Meghan could not get over the fact of what happened on that show. And this is how bright or unbright Meghan is. The moment that aired, remember, Meghan was crouching down, doing baby bottle stuff, eating chips like a squirrel. Doing all of sort of what she thought was fun stuff. She couldn't believe she was ridiculed. The public didn't laugh with her. They laughed at her. It was seen as undignified for a duchess. So Meghan decided that Ellen, alongside Prince Harry, has decided there. Well, no, you know, enough. We've had it. We don't need you. You made us look foolish. So consequently, even in her hour of need, Meghan Markle, who claims to be authentic, humanitarian, someone who wants to show up for people, could have offered her friend, her one-time ally, Ellen DeGeneres, a chance to come back. Whether she's popular on television or not, it would have been a gesture of friendship. But Meghan Markle decided, no, that's not happening. We're certainly not going to be doing that. And so Ellen found herself, sat at home in the Cotswolds, hoping somebody somewhere is going to give her the door back in to a TV career on Us TV. The thing is, though, it's certainly not going to be Meghan Markle.